Okay, my name is Arlen Dodson. I live in the Seattle area, and for approximately 12 years I worked with a company by the which I became a regional manager for several years, and I became very successful and was able to travel the country in doing that job, of which I loved and immensely, able to provide for my 4 children and my wife. While I was traveling at one point in San Diego area, I was hit from behind by a 27-foot straight truck, and while I was almost at a stop. And that truck accident, that vehicle accident, later on I found out caused a lot of changes in my life, and of which about 4.5 years later I'm still going through. That accident affected me very little the first night it happened. Being struck from behind, the first thing I noticed was being out of the vehicle, and I was feeling kind of nauseous. I was feeling sore, kind of your typical vehicle accident, and the very next day was much different. I was in a lot of pain. I was feeling so sick that I was on my hands and knees, literally throwing up because of the nauseousness and the pain. And this was the beginning of many episodes of dizziness, of literally blacking out, a lot of pain. And in my life, I figured this is an auto accident. I've never been in one this severe. And I tried to, for the next several weeks and months, overcome what I felt was something I could easily overcome. It just would be a matter of time. And I was very wrong. The more I tried to push through things, the pain got worse, the nauseousness got worse. I began having speech impediments. The headaches were so frequent and so powerful that oftentimes I would lay down on the ground at work, in the office. I did carpet cleaning and water damage restoration. Oftentimes I would have to stop cleaning and lay down on the floor for several minutes. And this became a trend. Communication became more difficult with me. Forgetting a lot of words, forgetting what people were saying to me in mid-conversation, forgetting what I was saying in mid-conversation. And that affected my relationships, of which, as a regional manager, very involved in every crew that I was in charge of in the cities, was crucial. And oftentimes was very close relationships with the managers in training, and a lot of dependency on each other. That became greatly affected. The difficulty of communicating mixed with the pain and the nauseousness, and the effort it took just to have a conversation with somebody, changed my outgoing personality, my ability to speak with people, to problem solve, to take someone who was very angry and make them very happy in the end. I became very introverted. I did not want to talk with people. I did not want to look at them in their face. I did not want to have a conversation. I did not want to have to say, "Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, I'm just not following you. I don't know what I was saying. What was it that I was saying?" I mean, those are just some examples of the challenges and difficulties that I had. And it just went downhill very fast. Every effort it took a lot of effort at work. And by the time I got home, I really basically had no relationship with my wife, with my children, because I was so mentally and physically exhausted from trying to get through a day of work, thinking that things would get better. Everything was going down the tubes. And eventually, I had some family members who encouraged me to, get help, and I did to some degree. I went to Labor and Industries, workers' compensation. I went and did some very brief therapy. They didn't do very much with me. Next thing I knew, they weren't paying the bills. Next thing you knew, things were getting worse, and I didn't know what to do. Bills weren't getting paid. We're talking a lot of money. I had no idea what was going on, and finally I decided to get some help, and I had a very good reference for Ruth Moen, of which my sister had been to before, and literally, thank God that I found Ruth Moen amongst anybody else. The direction and the counsel and the advice that was given me helped me get through all the garbage that was about to hit the fan, with L&I closing my case, with the insurance refusing to pay anything, really not even wanting to give any time of the day to view my case. It was much longer until Ruth finally put it in front of their face that this was very real. And it was a very long process, but had a very successful end to it. And without having that counsel and direction, I would not have got the therapy that I needed to get. Ruth had the proper doctors to go see. She has great references to doctors and to counselors that were top-notch. And there's no way I would be where I'm at this point had I not had that help, that counsel, that guidance, and the support. So that was pretty much everything that I had, and I'm very thankful that I took that route with Ruth Moen.